Hi there, this video is for those of you who want to increase your confidence. So, you probably see me as someone who is quite confident, but I'm going to tell you, it wasn't always that way. So confidence comes from the word confidence, and for me it's a confidence in yourself that you are enough. And I'm going to tell you that I never used to feel this way. So to give you a little bit of background about my lack of confidence, so that you can understand that you're not alone. When I was growing up, I had a few siblings. I often was after school looked after by another adult because my parents were busy at work. So we were one of several children, about 6 or 7 children. There wasn't a lot of individual attention, and I was an introvert, so I wasn't one to really put myself out there. I had enough friends and things like that. But obviously, as you go into high school and things, you start to notice who's popular, who's not popular, etc., etc. Now, I was quite lucky because I was brought up around boys, and that meant that I could actually bounce between a lot of the different groups within school, the different social groups, and that was a gift for me. But if you'd have seen some of the videos which I have now deleted off this YouTube channel, you would see that from my reflection that I didn't suffer with great self-esteem. I am not one of those girls who put on a load of makeup. I am not one of those girls who looks like, say, one of the celebrities, or I don't look stunning or anything like that. I'm not one of those who's happy with wearing revealing outfits, let's say. I don't have that confidence. And obviously being an introvert as well, which you might be if you're watching this, you might feel quite comfortable in social situations or putting yourself out there or trying new things. You might be quite easily influenced by other people's opinions. I know I certainly was. I was looking always outside of me for approval, for someone to kind of give me that green light, for someone to go with me. And I really struggled to kind of do things for myself, even basic things like try new recipes or try a new skill in case I couldn't do it or I was rubbish at it, which you're probably going to be the first time you try something. And I really was in quite a negative, timid cycle for a long time. And for me to do things like get jobs and to kind of just be normal, I suppose, was really a struggle. So if you're feeling that, I hope that's given you some insight to let you know that you're not alone. You might be struggling with anxiety right now, you might have depression, you might have a mental health issue, which thank goodness nowadays is becoming more and more recognised and more accepted by society. But I want to let you know that first of all. So that's the background done. So a couple of examples that I will give to you to really help you improve your confidence. Number one, I started a YouTube channel. So the reason I did this is I basically became part of a business academy, if you like, and they recommended doing a video every day. Now, we were in an online group where everyone started to do videos, and the first videos were honestly, for everybody, pretty horrendous. With YouTube, it's great because you can press the record button. You don't have to know what you say. You can talk about, people talked about all sorts of things, the weather, the fact that they couldn't find their socks in the morning, the fact that they were really annoyed with their kids, what they ate for breakfast, all sorts of just random things. And you don't have to make this public. You can make it unscheduled and you can make it private. And what that means is that the public can't see it, which is great. But it really helped me in finding my voice, I suppose, and also being confident with mistakes. You'll notice that a couple of seconds ago I just said and paused. That's okay. And there we go again. I learned as well that it's okay to laugh off mistakes. It's actually something that makes us human, and it's actually not something that needs to be embarrassing. I also remember many years ago, so I was part of a presentation in front of class. Now, I used to be one of those kids that went bright red and had to really concentrate on the mind and what they wanted to say in advance, because I was frightened that I would get tongue-tied and I would just kind of freeze on the spot. And that used to be quite, I wouldn't say a fear for me, but it was always quite a concern. And I remember in one of these presentations, so there's teachers and things like that. This was actually, I think, in sixth form. So I was about 17 at the time. And I went bright red, and bless her, one of the girls afterwards I said, oh no, I went bright red, something like that. And one of the girls was so kind, she said, oh, I didn't even notice. And for me, that changed my confidence a lot. Okay, so in looking back on these videos that you will make, and I really strongly encourage you to do this, even if you just do it on your phone, you will start to notice the changes in yourself, and you will get more and more confident. If you find yourself getting tongue-tied, what I used to do was just talk to the camera as is that I was talking to my best friend. Now, with the use of camera phones, I think people's confidence has improved. However, we are also at the same time losing social skills, which is a little bit worrying. So really, really practice that. I used to look like I'd gone through a hedge backwards. I used to have horrible, horrible hair, which is why I've redone some of these videos. I was growing it out. It just looked disgusting, to be honest with you. But I can see from when I first started this YouTube channel, which was a long, long time ago, pre-COVID, my confidence in myself has absolutely changed. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'd encourage you to do, and this really helped me. So when I was a child, when I was a teenager, I would say, I joined a group that was predominantly adults of really diverse backgrounds. And I was in a way forced to speak with these adults. Now, these adults were lovely people, and the constant and consistent exposure for me, I think, really helped. I am actually told now that I am one of those people that can talk to anyone. And this, again, is quite, I suppose, shocking for me. I am introverted. But it does help, especially in the role that I now play, where I sometimes come across people who have experiences that are very, very different from me. I can't necessarily connect with their experiences or understand their experiences or know really actually what they're talking about. So it really helps me in that way. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I found really helps is I'd sometimes imagine I was someone else, literally imagine I was someone else. So you might have a sporting hero, you might have a celebrity, you might have somebody who presents on the TV or the radio, you might have a fictional character that you really admire that has got some character traits that you think, I'd really like to be like that. And you can pretend to be these people. People think this is just for kids, but it's great. You can pretend to be these people, and you can chop and change characters at any point. So the other thing you can do as well is you can pretend when you're going somewhere, and this was also really helpful for me, that they are standing right next to you. This gave me a lot of confidence and courage in those situations where I needed to be talking to people as if I'm an adult, and not kind of running away and trying to hide. It helps if you're doing presentations. Maybe you want to pretend they're right next to you or sat near you or sat at the back. Maybe you want to even pretend that one of your great ancestors who was like a knight or something is sat at the back and they're encouraging you. Or maybe it's a grandparent who did something amazing and they're there at the back for you. Somebody that you really, you can see in your mind's eye but nobody else can see. So I hope those things help. A fourth thing that I did was when I wanted to achieve something, I had to know my why. Okay, because some things, when you're going up, as I say, it's in an aeroplane, but it implies in life as well. When you're leveling up, you're going to experience some turbulence. So really know your why. Do a lot of writing. And I used to do so much writing and really nail down as to why I wanted to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And this would help build my resilience. You can write it on a piece of paper and put it in your pocket. Some people had things like tattoos, even temporary tattoos, that they can touch or things like that. It might be, like I say, a necklace. It might be a bracelet that gives you that extra bit of confidence. I used to put sayings up around my wall as well. It might be a certain piece of clothing. So really, really do all those things. I hope one of those tips will help you. All it else fails, do the YouTube channel. It really, as I can see the difference it's made in me, and I hope that those hints and tips. There we go. There's a mistake for you, but I'm going to keep it in because you know what? I'm confident enough to make those mistakes now, and you will be too. Okay, so work on it. At the end of the day, you're an awesome person. If people don't think that, then they don't see you for who you could be. And also they don't see the depths of the qualities that you have. You probably have amazing qualities, you just don't know it. They just need drawing out. So go for it. So I hope that helps, and see you next time. You take care. Bye bye now.